Today's video is brought to you by the generosity of Newbold targets. Newbold targets are self-sealing reactive polymer targets that act like steel targets for training and practice, but are safer than steel. They allow bullets to pass completely through the target without ricochet or lead splatter. Check out their links in the description and thank them for bringing us today's video.
Hey everybody, we're at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale. I'm here with two very special people to meet today, and we're just gonna do some shooting, just working on a little bit of improvement in our skills. First is Mrs. Asp, my beautiful wife Laura. Yay, she's out shooting more. I'm super excited about that. Rule of thumb is you do not teach your spouse how to shoot. She's here working on her skills as she and Neil are working on her FBI qual. You will see I will not give her a whole lot that she doesn't ask for. This is my friend Paul Mikatuk. Paul is, I always say, my first pastor here in the Valley.
That's because you're kind.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, our small group leader when we first moved here to the Valley, but I preached on Sunday, so let's not argue about semantics, shall we? And always working on his handgun skills. We're going to forgive him for carrying an XD, but we're just going to give him a hard time about that. So I just want to introduce you to him. We're going to do some work today, and we're going to work on the principles today of the grip is the master, sights set the pace, and trigger is the servant. That's our big saying, and we've said this many times now. So again, the first thing I have to do is grip that pistol correctly. If I don't grip the gun right, we have problems. You saw it again and again on the channel, but specifically with Salah, who was on the channel a couple weeks ago. And you saw that when he didn't have his master grip on the gun, he missed. As soon as he really got a grip on the gun, he got his hits and ended the fight. Grip is the master. Once we have a grip on the pistol, sights set the pace, right? So when I see enough of my sights for what shot I need to take, then I can let the shot go. And then trigger is the servant that does what I ask it to do to make happen and make the shot break. So, you guys ready to do some shooting?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Eyes and ears. All right, let's come up here to the 3-yard line. There's no sense in going farther than that. Okay, so let's see. Do you have any ammos?
I do.
So you have the one that's in the gun, but that's expensive ammos.
Oh.
That's defensive ammos.
Okay.
Here's a magazine of not expensive. You go ahead and, I mean, we're in a safe space, right? So just make sure, again, safe when we point the gun in a safe direction, okay? So a couple things. Paul, you're going to work out of the hand today, obviously, right? Because that's a wrong-sided holster for you.
Correct.
So let me show you real quick how to change hands with the gun. So if I'm here and I draw that gun out of here and then I point it in a safe direction, what I generally tell people in order to change hands with the gun is I turn the gun over so then that way if I drop it into my hand rather than clang it onto the floor. But God forbid if it drops, let it go. Especially loaded, right? I see people grab for guns and then they shoot themselves and that's bad. Okay? So when I go to change hands, what I tend to do is move over this way. Now I take this thumb around and notice that I'm still gripping the gun here with my fingers, then that lets me put this other thumb around. Now I can go do my work, pew, 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 do all my pew that I need to do. When I go back the other way, turn over, thumbs out, safely holster. Make sense? Sound good? Okay. For you, I want you to make sure when you're going back in the holster, you're doing your thing. Take your time. There's no need to go back into the holster fast. Clear, see, tap the outside of the holster, kick your hips forward, and then slowly, carefully, reluctantly holster. Because streaking a bullet through your junk is a bad way to end your day. Okay? So you got a hot gun? Cool. Mr. Paul, you want to put a magazine in that bad boy and go hot? Cool. All right? So I just want you guys, here's all I want you to do right now. You both have a couple of dots in front of you. You see you've got your 6 dots on the target in front of you? Mm-hmm. All right. All we're going to do, and I'll show you what I want you to do first. So I'm going to show you by deer. I'm going to show you no, you're fine. Stay on your target. Okay. So loaded gun. All right. Eyes and ears. John, you're eared. Okay. You got your ears. So when I say grip is the master, so here's what I'm doing. First of all, with this primary hand, what I'm doing really is squeezing backwards from the front strap to the back strap. I'm not gripping around like this. I'm not trying to hold it like a handle. I'm trying to C-clamp grip it. Okay, and what that does is that presses that gun into my back strap and I really work on my pinky. I really think about my pinky gripping the gun. Then with this support hand, I get up as high as I can and I grip side to side with that same C-clamp pressure. Okay, so front to back and side to side. Now, I'm going to use the B here. I want you to pick one of the other dots. And all I'm trying to do here is get enough that there, you see how I got the shot that I wanted. And I don't have to go fast here. See as much as I need to see. See how I'm just trying to say, okay, this is where I want the bullet to go, and I'm taking as much time as I need to get it. So the grip is the master, the sights set the pace. So when can I shoot? When my sights are even and lined up on that target, then I'm good. I've got all the grip that I need. Sights setting the pace, and then the trigger just says, ready, go. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's all I'm looking to do there. Did you understand? You understand what we're doing? Yep, go ahead and safely draw your gun. Pick dot number 1. Take your time. Now, I went a little faster. Okay, I do this a little bit, right? You don't have to go as fast as John went. Take your time. Sights on the target. Front sight and rear sight. Wait, why the shake of the head? No, dear. Great shot.
I felt the recoil a lot.
Who cares? It went where you wanted.
Yeah.
Take your time. Good shot. If you want a little less recoil, see how your elbows are locked out? So what I would do is just give a tiny bit of bend, and really all the tension you need is here in your forearms. Because that's where your grip, tension in your forearms. Don't need a lot of tension through your back. Relax your shoulders just a little. Good. So that'll let the gun kind of, see how much faster your gun recovered when you did that? Well, keep going, stud. Let's see if take your time. Now, Paul, if I may, you see this finger hanging out here? That is not helping your grip at all. That's where you'd probably rather be.
Fair enough.
Same thing we worked on last time. Look at you drilling a single hole. Why are you telling yourself no?
Because I feel like I'm doing it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that single hole you're drilling is so wrong. Okay, you're all out. Why don't you go ahead and transfer the gun to your other hand and put it in the holster for a minute, Paul?
Should I release the slide?
You don't need to. You can if you'd like. It'll go in there. Did you do your whole mag, or you just decided to do a few and be done with it?
Yeah, I just did some.
Because you do what you want. Okay, so you guys both did a really good job. How'd that feel for you, Paul?
I did better than I thought I was going to do.
Hey, you know, I feel like drilled one big hole in the target, everything right around the dot. I mean, I don't see anything significantly big. Dear, how do you feel?
I feel good. It's interesting that I go down low. So I mean, if I'm not going to hit it, I go down just a little bit to the left.
Yeah. That low left push is what right-handers do when they anticipate a shot. So what that generally means is you're gripping with your whole hand.
Huh.
So what that generally means is, okay, I've got enough gun, but then when I go to do the trigger, I have to go like this.
Huh, okay.
So, and if you feel like, so if I do this, and I go, okay, so here I am trying to do this, right? So if I do this, do you feel how that pushes my hand that way?
Yeah.
You could feel it, right? So I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go, okay, so if I grip it all, it pushes that in and down. That's just what it does.
Okay.
So when I see this, that means I'm going.
Okay, instead of squeezing this and already being squeezed.
So if you want to eliminate that,
Yeah.
the way that you do it is grip is the master.
Okay.
So grip is the master means I go grip that gun with my pinky. And really the funny part is you guys can feel this, right? So if you take your dominant hand and you put it on your non-dominant forearm, and if I start gripping, and think about this, if I grip and I think about my middle finger, so if I grip first with my middle finger, then take those other two fingers and grip as hard as you can. You're leaving your trigger finger off, right? And see how much pressure you can do? Now do this and do the same thing with those three fingers, but grip pinky first and see how much pressure you can generate. See how much more pressure you can generate? It's crazy how much more you can generate. The reason for that, if you want to know all the anatomy, your pinky has its own tendon that runs all the way up into your forearm, and it's about 40% of your grip strength. And so when you think with your pinky, you can grip a whole hell of a lot harder on the gun than when you're thinking about your middle fingers. And it also is a longer lever, so it'll control the recoil on the gun better.
Well, and I know it's different for you versus me, because like hand size, right? We're quite a bit different.
So the amount of leverage you can do and the amount of grip strength you have is different. The percentages aren't.
But where my hand fits on the gun is
Sure,
very different.
100%. But you're using different grip panels than I'm using too. So somewhat we ameliorate that by I'm using the large grip panels and you're using the small.
Okay.
So that we adjust the grip size because you want to have the gun that's right for you.